This topic is not just information you want to know when you start your real estate career, how we're paid commission, but this topic will come up on the Humber College Real Estate exams, which order commission is paid out. You will see it mainly in course 2, but it could appear later on in the Humber College Real Estate program, and it will actually appear in the final broker exam, if you were to choose to do that. As usual, if you're looking for more information to pass these exams first try or crush a retake, look to the Exam Master mini courses in the description below. More on that later in the video, but let's just dive right into it. First, we'll do the order of payment in a really good example. Then we'll talk on the deposit itself and the trust accounts a brokerage can and must have. And make sure you stick around to the end, and I'll break down a really good MCQ question that you may see on the exam. First, how commission is paid out and in which order. For this, we'll just use a common example. A listing agent representing a brokerage is selling a property worth $1 million. There is a cooperating agent involved, and there has been a deposit of $50,000. 5% was the total commission, 2.5% for the listing agent, and 2.5% for the cooperating agent. We'll come back around after this and discuss key information regarding that deposit. So without confusing anyone and making this as simple as possible, this is a visual example of the order of remuneration. The listing brokerage would pay out the commission owed and would use the deposit to do so to the cooperating brokerage first, then it would pay the listing agent, and then themselves last. That is the order to remember. This section over here, as far as the order, doesn't matter so much because in the process of the order, the listing brokerage, for example, won't know exactly when that brokerage pays their salesperson. But that is the order to remember. The listing brokerage will pay the cooperating brokerage first, then their salesperson, the listing agent, then themselves last. Just think of the listing brokerage as a very nice person, right? They would always pay the strangers first, then their salespeople, and then always themselves at the end. That is essentially what you need to know. This process happens at closing, and the buyer's and the seller's lawyer will handle distribution of the remaining funds. For instance, the listing brokerage or even the cooperating brokerage may still require funds, and this would be distributed by the lawyers. Hey, so I'm going to add this into the video as well because while I was editing this, someone asked in the YouTube comments if I could basically explain how we are allowed to be paid as realtors. And this is big actually because this 100% will come up on the exams as well. So I'm going to add this into this video. It's a perfect addition. There's 4 different ways that we will be paid. So let's just quickly add this in and break them down. The first one is 99% of the time of what we're going to use in the real world, how we're paid. It's going to be a percentage of the sale price. For example, 5% of the total sale price. Second would be a flat fee. For example, $15,000. Third is a combination of a flat fee and a percentage of the total sale price. For example, $3,000 plus 4%. And the fourth is a sliding scale of percentage of the total sale. This is what they'll actually possibly try to trick you on the exams. So it has to be a sliding scale of percentages. For example, 5% on the first 500,000 and anything over 500,000, 3.5%. It cannot go up. It cannot be 3.5% on the first 500K and anything over 500K upwards to 5%. It has to go down. Quick addition to the video here, a quick nice addition, but let's get right back into it. Okay, that was first on the list. Let's move on to second, the deposit and the brokerage's business bank accounts. This will come up on the exams as well. A very high percentage of the time, the listing brokerage will hold a deposit. Not always though, which could be a tricky worded question you may see in the exams when they put those words like in there always and they just slip by you. It's not always. Although very rare, the deposit may actually be held by the cooperating brokerage or even the seller's lawyer. Things to know about brokerage bank accounts. Every brokerage must have a real estate trust account to hold the consumer's deposit. They also must have a separate general account, as funds such as expenses for marketing, etc. can never be withdrawn from the real estate trust account. This is one of the highest priorities of security when it comes to RICO. Once the deposit is in there, it is protected by RICO's insurance program against theft or insolvency. That is bigger than you think, and another huge reason why people should use realtors. I have personally lost tens of thousands of dollars with contractors before that do not have this set up. I trusted a 25 history year old builder with a lot of money, and they went completely insolvent and all of that money was gone. They don't have our same regulations. Us having these regulations is a good thing. What may also come up on the exams as far as bank accounts is the brokerage's commission trust account. This is actually not mandatory by RICO, but it is highly recommended. This would protect our commission as salespeople, brokers, agents, protect our commission from theft or insolvency as well. But just so you know, if it does come up on the exams, it is not mandatory. Okay, so that's commission payment distribution. You need to know this is deposit information and brokerage's bank account details onto a really good MCQ breakdown that you may see on the exam. This is the question here. We'll read it and break it down. Jennifer is a new salesperson at ABC Brokerage and is working with her first seller clients. An offer has been submitted that her sellers have accepted, and now her brokerage will need to collect the deposit. What must Jennifer understand about handling the consumer's deposit? On to A, the deposit must be placed into the brokerage's trust account within 7 days. Okay, so for a question like this, if you're not too sure, right? Let's say you don't know the amount of days it's supposed to be placed in there. Just leave the cursor hovered over it for now. Use these answers on a multiple choice question in your favor to gather more information, right? If this was a question where you literally had to answer, just write down an answer, it would be significantly more different, right? But I know people get tripped up. They see these answers and it confuses them. Use them as your favor. Use them in your favor to navigate to the right answer through the process of elimination. But right now, let's say hypothetically, you didn't know, let's leave it hovered over there for now and move on to B. It must be deposited within 5 business days into the brokerage's commission trust account. Okay, so for this one, maybe we're thinking, okay, 5 days does ring a bell, right? That's good, but we know it's not going into the commission trust account, so you can eliminate that one. On to C, the deposit must be placed into the listing brokerage's interest-bearing trust account at the earliest practical opportunity. Okay, so you're looking for stuff right there. That must word right there. A brokerage must have an interest-bearing trust account. Look for stuff like that. It is not required. It does not have to be an interest-bearing trust account, just a trust account, right? Look for those keywords that try to trip you up. Earliest practical opportunity, yes, of course, but not must interest-bearing trust account. You would eliminate that one and move on to D. The deposit must be placed into the brokerage's trust account at the latest 5 business days of receipt. This sounds like the best answer, doesn't it? And it is the correct one. However, on exam day, if you don't know and you're between A and D, use their bookmarking feature for sure, right? Bookmark it and give yourself enough time to come back to. But just in case, of course, pick the one you're leaning towards just in case you don't have enough time. You don't want to leave any questions blank. So answer would be D here, and I'll bring up a bit of a note. Note that there will be a few questions as such that where you will have to memorize the exact number of days, months, or years that REBA, soon to be TRESA, depending when you're watching this. Right now, TRESA is being implemented into the material. It's still a few months away. By the time you're watching this, it might already be TRESA. Or RICO require actions to be taken. Try to memorize key facts as such to get those quick, easy marks on the exams. I really hope that helped, guys, give you some real world experience and of course what you're going to see on the exams. And as mentioned, if you're looking for that additional support to pass these exams first try, look to my Exam Master mini courses in the description below. It's mini notes, mini quizzes, my exact fundamentals I use to pass all exams first try and in 4.5 months. And I also do video breakdowns of the 4 types of questions you may see in the exams. Those links in the description below as well are all value links for the YouTube family for the time being. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions at all on this, you can email, DM, comment on this video. I get back to everyone. My name is Callum Moore, eXp Realty Real Estate Broker here in Ontario, and we'll see you in the next one.